we know that orchestras and really all performing arts, you know, is at a crossroads. And it's anchored in these three areas that we really want to highlight. And it's all the things that we already talked about just now. It's strengthening your core audience, reaching new audiences, and creating ways to drive sustainable revenue. And using a platform like EasyConnect can really highlight each of these areas very well, as you'll hear from some of the presentations today. But really, I think we all know that your audience lives on mobile. 94% of all US adults have a phone and use it all the time, 4 hours a day or more, which is kind of sad if you think about it, but that's where we are. And 90% of that time is spent in mobile apps. So not browsers, mostly apps. If you think about just your own personal day-to-day use of your phone. So with that, we say the basis of what we talk about at EasyConnect is understanding your audience and using that understanding to drive how you communicate with them. And so that's identifying who are your core audience members, and that could be the most loyal. It could be based on reattendance rates. It could be based on a number of things, but identifying who they are is the first step. Your casual attendees, maybe they come once, maybe they come twice, but they're another group that you should take a look at and how you message them. And then your curious buyers, so that's your new audiences. They maybe don't know a lot about an orchestra, or maybe they've never been, but they're curious about what's happening. And it's trying to talk to each of these groups in the way that they want to be talked to. And our approach is one app for every audience, and each audience group gets their own way in. So, and you'll see more about that as the presentation continues. So we talk about defining your channel and your messaging, and a lot of what we're going to share today is understanding your total, tech stack, and this is just a part of what we would say is the overview, the strategic overview. So we're not saying that native apps replace anything that already exists in your marketing, but it should complement what you're already doing. We do have a lot of data across our whole client base that shows that people who purchase in apps convert, people who download apps convert at much higher rates than people who come to websites. Obviously, push notifications convert at much higher rates than an email. So it's really almost just a more efficient and direct way of communicating with the people who are interested in what you're doing. And the way that we do this in our apps is powered by personalization. So we have 60 trackable touch points across our apps, which is one differentiator from just a straight mobile website. We know who your constituents are or who your customers are, and we can track their behavior data, what they looked at, what they put in their cart, what they shared with their friends, and all of that becomes measurable data that you can use to fuel real-time messaging. So very important when a lot of our messaging is around time-specific events. So, and a great piece to highlight from EasyConnect perspective is that we do this in an automated way. So we all talk about AI right now, and without the data behind the behavior data behind what your audience is doing, it's really hard to fuel an AI strategy. And so an EasyConnect app can be that next kind of intermediary step to doing that. And out of the box, the automated push notifications are a great, great tool. And lastly, 2 slides left. Personalization we'll see in the presentations that are shared today by Jennifer and Unitey. We will show you how personalization earns loyalty, and it opens doors for new audiences and really gives you the opportunity to cultivate new audiences, but also build stronger relationships with your core audiences. So we'll show you some more about that in a bit. And I just wanted to end this section here with one example of a friend and client of ours, Roundabout Theater's conversion funnel, because I mentioned a little bit about how apps convert more strongly than mobile web. And I think this is a great slide to highlight that. Hyptix is, obviously they've raised their hand, they've downloaded the app. It is a youth program, so it's already very specific. However, these conversion rates are encouraging because something like 76% of your traffic is coming from mobile. So we have to find a way to capture that in a streamlined fashion. And Hyptix is a great example of that, but we've got great examples across all of our clients, so happy to share more anytime. But for now, I will hand it over to Unitey, who is just starting her journey with us, but very excited to have her share her perspective.
Thank you, Alexa.
Hi, I'm Unitey Kull. I'm the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer at the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, and I've been there for 4 years. Some of you may know that we just completed a major renovation and expansion. We reopened in September 2025, and I love this picture. This is from opening night. So what we've really been thinking about is how do we capitalize on this incredibly transformative moment, the most transformational moment in our history, and how that informs our digital strategy. So we took the opportunity to do a lot at once. Not only did we reopen a Snøhetta designed expansion, adding 64,000 square feet, renovating our hall, which hadn't been renovated since 1968, but we worked with Pentagram to launch a new brand identity. We went pretty hard on publicity and worked with a new PR firm. We were successful in getting a lot of national press, and we also upped our game in the influencer space. Not only locally, but we invited a lot of people nationally, which resulted in about 20 million impressions and a lot of great buzz online. So year to date, we are up 53% in ticket revenue. We've got 40% new single ticket buyer households, 33% new subscribers, and we're worried about the sophomore slump. How do we keep that momentum going? We're already 5% ahead in subscription sales. So retention is really our strategy, as it has always been, as it is for you too, but this is a key moment for us. And the other area for us is really in that diversification. We're reaching a lot of younger audiences, so we're thinking about how do we meet these different audiences where they are. In addition to everything I mentioned, we've also been experimenting with programming, and something that worked really well this season is a new Symphony Happy Hour program playlist. We have had DJ sets following the playlist, which again goes back to the expansion of having so much more space to socialize. We've got, musician meet and greets. The strategic community partnerships has been an ongoing focus for us, but again, we've been upping our game in that area with the influencers, and ultimately we're really just trying to create a sense of belonging for everyone. So we fully stole the idea of our digital presence being a second venue from Sri Srivasan, who used to be the chief digital officer at the Metropolitan Museum in New York. And that's something that has really informed our ethos, and we've been working on this intentionally for years, and it's thinking about how What are we doing in the social space, the storytelling on our blog, our website, and we've had an app for a while, but we're trying to up our game in that area. So how do we sustain the momentum? How do we make the belonging feel personal? And then creating that virtuous cycle, bringing people in and then experiencing us online and coming back. So ultimately, our goal is to be more personal, more social, more seamless. Like I said, we have an app now. We are going to be working with Easy Connect and looking at how do we get more highly segmented. We love the social opportunities of bring a friend and wish lists and let's see, Rush offers being able to verify student IDs, our Young Friends program, and then how can the purchase path itself be really seamless and frictionless. Right now, we also implemented Seat Me for our website, which we love. That's, you can see your seat, but mobile website, it's not very friendly. So we're looking at the website is still incredibly valuable, but then how do we have a completely different, easy, quick feature in the app? So thinking about those unique paths, like I said, new audience growth is a big part of it, even in retention and deepening the in-venue experience. I know a lot of people are talking about programs going online. Yes, we're thinking about that. We know that people love their paper and we're not trying to move away from it, but how do we communicate the perks? You've got your membership card for valet, for the donor lounge, for your parking, ideally being able to order your drink. And as AI just becomes more and more prevalent, how do we, chat through the app? How do we have a deeper experience? So we're launching in September. What we're interested in looking at is, do we have better conversion from ticket share? We definitely want to capture those shadow audiences. It's really hard to understand who's coming when we only have the ticket buyer themselves. Does the segment-specific access change behavior? Does a better purchase path lift conversion? And do the social features drive group behavior? So for the table discussion, what is the difference between a digital presence that markets to people and one that builds community with them?
Thank you, Unitey. Okay, you now have 5 minutes to discuss that question and answer it completely, of course. I was remiss to say that at the end there'll be an opportunity to register to get a copy of these presentations, and some of the presentations may be also a little more filled out with data. So don't worry about taking notes. If you register, then we can get a copy to you. So 5 minutes, and I'm starting now.
I mean, it's fascinating. Where we all
Interesting.
Oh my gosh, it is the most loyal, the biggest subscriber base. And we have donuts and yes. Okay. It's like people come for the donuts. It's been good. Donuts, no, we get some free donuts each week. And so we kind of like make that place into like we at work. Yeah, I like that. We launched our whole season.
This is your 2-minute warning.
I'm going to be in bed by 9:30. No, the 6:30 happy hour is just like it's on a Thursday night. It's 1 hour. And it was hard to sell, but now when I go to the community, like, I love it so much. We're like, you probably love the shorter time.
What? That's fine. We're all good. And we're going to workshop, right? Like, we're going to get that work out. Oh, okay. Great. How do you, feel about, I'm thinking about Angie and how she did all the technical work. So if you're getting a lot of technical questions, I might be like, okay.
So you want us to go sit with people? You want us to go sit with people or just walk on?
Do I have time to hear one?
Great. Kind of breeze through that.
"30 seconds.
Snowhead time. It's beautiful. Well, the juxtaposition is really striking and unique. Yeah, it's like Scandinavian and then Versailles, but it's really special. Well, I keep hearing about it. I haven't been yet, but I would like to. They're really incredible. Oh, you live in Calgary? I didn't know that. I know so many people in Calgary now. It's weird. It's really like featuring. Well, no, I have an artist friend in St. Louis that's trying to help them with a biennial. Like, I swear to, I have friends that just moved there. I just met a consultant that lives there. I feel like it's the hot one. It seems like you have a lot of culture. Woo. I don't have that oil money like Texas.
Okay, now. Okay, I'm very happy that these vibrant conversations are happening, but please welcome Jennifer Barton from Baltimore Symphony Orchestra.
Hi, everybody. Oh, that's so loud for this morning. I want to first start by acknowledging the awesome presentation and work that's been happening at the St. Louis Symphony. Congratulations, Unity. And good luck on your app journey. We're going to start a club. Okay, so the BSO faced the opportunity. You guys know about the BSO. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. I'm Jennifer Barton. I'm the Chief Revenue Strategy Officer here. And the important thing to know about us is that in 2022, Jonathan Hayward came on as music director, which generated a lot of interest in our community. And our goal has been to maintain and grow from that, in addition to just, welcoming people back after COVID. So to set the scene a little bit, our marketing team is pretty lean, but we have tremendous talent and, even more importantly, curiosity. So we chose to take a multi-channel approach to building loyalty instead of running in one direction or another. And this allowed us to braid together our digital strategies, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. So if you're not sure about an app, we're just going to show you that it's a fantastic addition to your tech stack. The important thing is that we have put our strategy on serving patron loyalty needs rather than trying to explore the many available features that came with the Easy Connect app and all the other technology that we have. So if you haven't had a chance to yet, I hope you will download our app, search for BSO app. I'm looking at Amy, who's our project manager on this. Baltimore Symphony, search for that. Okay, great. So when we talk about our audience segmentation and just overall what we're doing, we talk about 4 horizons of growth. Frequency, getting patrons to attend and come back. Loyalty, signing up for a journey with us to have a subscription or a ticketing program or a membership. Having volume, which is building critical mass in those desired products using your loyal base. And then finally, managing demand using inventory once that volume has been established. So Easy Connect helps us with this by helping to add another layer to our tech stack, as I've said. The goals for us adding this were that even with what we had, we needed to make what should I do next even more intuitive for patrons. We needed to enable on-demand personalization without expanding our team size. We needed to provide better delivery than email alone for timely information. We also needed to gain visibility into the behaviors that predict loyalty. And our overall objective has been get people in, keep that bar nice and low so that it's part of their identity, and then encourage them, encourage them to add on and upgrade their relationship as they go and as they discover more on their journey. So we have this multi-channel tech stack, and hopefully this is the most affirming slide of this. If you're sending mail, you're using technology, and you can leverage that with doing things like inkjet personalization that reminds people of available offers. Obviously, our website is harder to personalize, but there are opportunities there with widgets. We use dynamic messaging in our emails that's integrated with Tessitura, which is our CRM platform, with automated workflows. We also have targeted marketing campaigns on our social media. So this is, for example, when renewal time rolls around, we can run a 90-day, your renewal is coming, here it is, don't miss it. And I have to give a shout out to the Met in New York, the Met Art Museum, because they did this so beautifully. So anyway, if you are a member and then you lapse, you'll experience what I did. It was great. Support the Met. Okay, so we also have TNU, which is our basic account information lookup, and then finally our app, which offers so many features. So personalized content, offers on demand, and probably most importantly, ticketing pricing so that you know what you qualify for when you're using the app and you don't have to sift through promo codes or other things that might be confusing. So in our case, we took our different segments and we said, what are the offers that we want to reiterate to them? So a great example is 15% off for members. We were really wanting to encourage them to add on to their second tickets or add on tickets as they went. So on every piece of direct mail, they get an inkjet message that says, remember, members get 15% off. That's something that's in hand for all of us, but it requires that you have segmentation. And so if you take nothing else away from our discussion today, you've heard us say it, this is your encouragement and invitation. Please find a way to segment even into a few different groups your audience so that you can have at least a little bit more speaking directly to what their needs are in their journey with you. Okay. So I just talked through this. Okay, so the sorry, I'm tripping because there were a couple of different slides that I've been like moving around, so we can make sure that you get those after the conference. But the point is that we had outlined what the journeys were that we wanted to happen for each of our different patron segments. One of the most interesting impetuses for this program, or for the app to be used, is our Passport. So the Passport is a pretty unique ticketing product. It used to be our Young Patrons program, but we took the age restriction off of it and upped the price to $140 a year. We also made some clearer rules so that people knew what they could expect when they logged on to the site, and they could see what their various pricing rules allowed them to do. And what we're finding is that our classical collection of concerts are being really utilized. People are loving showing up to that because they get it for free. They can also bring a friend for $25, or they can upgrade their seat to a more premium section for $40. They also have the popular collection, which is a $25 ticket, and then a $40 upgrade. And then with our celebrations collection, a 15% discount. So if you're curious about what I mean when I'm talking about collections, we're actually talking about this later this afternoon at 1:30 in the Baltimore Symphony's Building Resilience session. So I'm going to skip through that, but we needed a way to really organize our products. So here's how personalization would work for a Passport member versus a subscriber, who I think we all know what subscribers are like. So we're meeting two very different needs. One of them is, can I book this? It's a question of how the product works and then actually utilizing it. Whereas subscribers have a need to have a concert kind of prepared, know before you go experience. The goals between the two are that our Passport holders, we needed to remove the friction that's associated with booking those tickets and the questions around them. And subscribers, we did not need to sell. We needed to help to advance that relationship by providing clear communication about their experience. So one of the things that we have had a really interesting time with is trying to prioritize as we go in a time when the needs of marketing have shifted so much just within the year that we created this kind of approach to, it's a roadmap approach to what we're doing, and it's allowing us to be nimble and always make sure that we are prioritizing our work in a way that allows us to keep the most important values that we're trying to chase to make our program successful intact. So this is how it works. Kind of imagine a waterfall. If you've ever seen a diagram like that where you have a coffee cup that's pouring over to the next one. If you run out of coffee, you maybe aren't making it to the bottom yet. But you've done a lot of great work at the top, at the thing that is the greatest leverage. So for us, that is communication and fulfillment. It is, after that, reducing those revenue driving friction points, as I was just talking about. So subscribers and Passport have been our first two priorities. Then we have building experience value, our add-ons, and add-ons have been a major source of of growth in the app. We've had a lot of good participation with that. And then finally, trying to reach new people. I think that in the future, as we get more loyal people onto our app and it becomes a more regular part of our experience, this framework might change around a little bit. But what's helpful is that there are many of us coming from different points of view and different needs in our various strategies. And this allows us to really be on the same page about what gets, the first crack at whatever kind of initiatives that we want to build capacity-wise. Something else that's also interesting about this is membership and fundraising has also been kind of a phase 2 approach in the app. So for those of you who are wondering about how all of this applies, personalization matters a lot. We have our membership cards that we're starting to put onto the app. We also allow people to reserve their special member event access through the app. We send push notifications, and one of the coolest features is the Just For You reminders. Again, if you download the app for this week, you'll see that we have a Just For You for league participants. If you follow a certain link, right? Okay, great, cool. So I'm sure that we will share that in one way or another. Sorry. Is it on here later? Okay, great, cool. And let's see. So we can put any kind of content that we want into the session, or into the section. So some of the things that we've toyed with are notes about a special campaign that we might be running for additional gifts, or a reminder about an upcoming benefit that is universal to members, but is maybe timely instead of ongoing. When people log on, they can also see just a reminder, you get the 15% off. We're always pushing that reminder to people. And so it's a really nice and fast way to send messages, to kind of push messages for those who are on demand. And it also, by being dynamic and changing on a regular basis, helps people who are coming back to not always be seeing the same exact thing. Something else that we've talked about is how we could expand content and donor storytelling on the app. It's incredible how flexible it is. It really is limited only by your team's imagination. And that's a huge credit to the Easy Connect crew, who has been just really side by side with us on envisioning what the BSO needs. And it's been a lot of fun because they bring a heck of a lot of technical expertise too. So how's it going? We're finding that 75% of our passport holders are accessing their tickets via the app. We've actually talked about making passport exclusively on the app. I think that that's something that we would be, probably moving to in the next year, because we've had, an acceptable adoption rate, and we've gotten through the kinks here. And 47% of them are completing in-app purchases. So, and then our subscribers, these people are heavily using the app for information and not as much for the purchases. So you can see there's 6% purchase in-app. And I keep looking at Amy Bruce, who's, again, our project manager on this, and so much more. She's really been a tremendous member of our team in this. How old are these stats? These are pretty fresh, right? Yeah. Okay, so this would have been in February. Yeah, okay, great. So that's, right, so they are, and I think that's why I asked this, because since then we've done, and this was in one of the slides that I was going to share, but since then, we've done an on-app pre-sale for our summer series, and that drove a lot of participation. We have also incorporated the app into more of our email strategy. Not that it wasn't there, but changing around the links to make sure that people were actually getting to the app was one of the conversations that we had as a team and had to implement. All of this is a lot of detailed discussions with team members, bringing them along about how the technology works. And so it's been a lot of fun to unlock kind of one little upgrade at a time. And something else that I'm really excited about is that we've received about $50,000 in add-on and upgrade value in the first year, in addition to the ticket sales that are coming in through the app. We've made much more than this in the app over the past year. But I'm really proud of that add-on number because it shows us that our strategy is working. People are feeling bought in, and then they're coming back around and finding new ways to participate with us. So finally, if you're looking for a little bit of a proof point in how we're approaching our tech stack, one of the things that I love to show is this pipeline of support for these various levels of engagement. So this was an analysis of ticketing, number of tickets, and the spend in any given year, or in the years from 22 to 26. 26 is a projection based on current sales numbers and what our trends are for this year. We took the most recent 24-25 season and did some analysis on it to create quartiles of engagement. This is not how we segment our people. It's an analysis opportunity. And what we found is that we have seen a tremendous shift in our patron base from being more of that casual, light, learning, maybe trying the orchestra for the first time because they're interested in Jonathan or the programming, and then we've been really working hard to convert those people. So I think this is a pretty neat little proof is in the pudding moment of when you focus on retention and upgrading people, you can move your pipeline forward. And we use our tech stack to accomplish all of that.